the guy asked me if I had a living trust yet established.
That's scary.
He didn't even ask me, when was my last visit.
When the doctor
Just looked at me and asked me if I had a will.
"So your affairs in order?"
Exactly what he said. He handed me Michael D. Wild's card. No, they were pushing a guy to get your will done.
Oh God!
You think the guy's getting fed a little piece of the action back?
Partnership.
Yeah. They take a look at all the guys that look like they're about to check out, and they send them straight to Moish or Schwartz. We'll get your affairs in order. Hey, Moish, come in the room, too. Got another one. Wow. I mean, once again, all you have to do is look at my New York Post. They don't even bring me the rest of the paper anymore. Because there's so many point spreads here. And I have a game. And if you bet this game, you can bet your eyeballs on this game. You can bet whatever it is.
Don't do it.
This game cannot lose.
Oh, here we go.
No, it's an obscure game. And I was thinking this, how wonderful is the world today when you can get down on Kennesaw State versus East Tennessee State and actually run into somebody that has an opinion on that game. How sick has the world become?
The time.
Wake up with Defo, joined by Lubie. Welcome to the Defo Show.
A very pleasant good morning to everybody here on a Peel Yourself Off the Mat Monday on the Defo Show here on Ion Channel. Couldn't be any happier than to be with you after a very, very nice weekend here in South Florida. Jeff Deforrest and, of course, my partner here on the program, the great Mike Lubitz. Lubie, how are you on this Peel Yourself Off the Mat Monday? How was your weekend, my friend?
My weekend was tremendous. A lot of downtime, thank goodness, and a lot of time with the wife. How was your weekend, Mr. Moving Man?
Well, that's a whole nother story here because that's taking place today. We had a little boat parade party at the new place.
Nice.
Which really didn't have any furniture in there, but that's very conducive to having a party. It's kind of like going to a loft in New York where it's just like wide open. So that was great, although we realized that the guy that we had already paid to put the new flooring in left a couple of bubbles in there. It's kind of like the Boston Garden. I think he even had a piece of the parquet floor. That would have been nice, actually, now that I think about it. Why don't I buy a piece of the parquet floor and put it right in the middle? How great would that be? You know who would be very welcome there, feel very welcome there? The lovely and talented Leslie Visser, right? And that could have been that flat board that the Celtics at Auerbach had installed. I think it was maneuverable also, so that if the teams switch sides, then he could just place it in a key spot. So when the ball went into the low post, and that was in the old days when the ball used to go into the low post. There is no low post anymore, is there? You got like Steven Adams in there looking like he's getting ready to go into the world's strongest men competition, ready to put somebody in a rear naked choke, which would not be called
Exactly.
in the NBA. However, some touch foul out there 40 feet from the basket. Oh, no, they're going to send Steph to the line. Can you believe it? As if you shouldn't get hacked unmercifully for even attempting a shot from that distance. Fouling, a guy in that position should be perfectly allowable. That's for sure. But anyway, so we're kind of moving today. Had the nice boat parade party there on Saturday night. That was great. I believe Ion Channel was all over that also, right? Isn't that their baby?
Yes,
The
they're
boat
all
parade?
about the boat parade. Yes, sir.
I thought we were going to get a little chance maybe to be one of those sideline reporters, Lubie. Let's go to Mike Lubitz there, and he's right by the Atlantic Boulevard Bridge. Mike, what do you got?
Oh, yeah, they're moving by pretty slowly, Defo. Look, there he is. I thought it was you. Never mind. All right, keep going. Back to you, Def.
How does Mario Lopez? Was he the Grand Marshal? I don't even know.
I don't know.
That thing was a long time ago. Oh, was that Saved by the Bell? He's still actually a very good television performer, I have to say. Mario Lopez, in good shape, and we like him because he's a big boxing fan. Goes in there and spars with like Manny Pacquiao and company. A lot of big things happening over the weekend, though, and that followed like a nice series of events all weekend long. Spent a beautiful day at the beach there at the new place yesterday, but today Mustang is in like Norman Schwarzkopf mode to an exponent of 100. I already hear rumbling around the household here, which is normally very quiet at this hour where we're broadcasting from. And the movers supposedly are coming at 8:30. My big fear is they're going to take the desk out while I'm on the air, which I don't know. Would that be a first? People get arrested while they're on the air, right? Because they know that's where they can find you, at the station. Okay, 8:30, right in the middle of the show. That's when we'll get them. We'll embarrass them. We'll make sure it's during the height of drive time.
Oh, God.
They cart you out of there in handcuffs. Everybody's looking, right? Like you were Martin Sheen in Charlie Sheen in Wall Street, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. where he gets carted out of work there, and everybody's staring. Yeah, they know your number is going to be up soon, right? The company was making too much money. Anyway, yeah, it's Schwarzkopf-esque, and I did have this realization because I was thinking Schwarzkopf had a crew cut. But he didn't, and yet he bears a slight resemblance. And this guy obviously died many, many years ago. But Jonathan Winters, the comedian Jonathan Winters, who was brilliant. I mean, it was the forerunner to Robin Williams. And if you got those two guys together, you had imagination plus, imagination cubed, my friends, to an exponent of 5. It was fantastic. But bears a slight facial resemblance, Jonathan Winters, to the esteemed General Norman Schwarzkopf.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, let's charge, man. We don't care that the wind is blowing. There's nothing but sand here. Let's go. Let's go get him. That's kind of how it is. I can feel it. I can sense it coming around the house. So if I seem a little uneasy today, please, people, have a little indulgence. Just give a little love here to the shooter, as they say at the craps table. A little love for the shooter, huh? And the guy craps right out there. Rolls a 6, comes right back with a 7. So that's going on here. And then getting ready for the show today. Now, see, I don't know that you ever experienced this, Lubie. My mother, may her soul rest in peace. And she's a beautiful lady, and I love her. I mean, I really do. In 98 years, I was so lucky to have this woman in my life. Although, to put it bluntly, she was notoriously cheap. She don't want to let go of a buck, which is good because now I have a few bucks as a result of that. That didn't hurt my cause any, that's for sure, especially when you get whacked out of a job right in the middle of all of this. And I have to, I don't know that we started from scratch because we luckily fell into a jackpot here with the lovely Amy and Jack Namer and Brad and all the good people there at Ion Channel. And people keep asking me how it's going. And now, remember in the beginning, like you would say, oh, yeah, it's going great. I'm not one to imply that things are, just sinking into the toilet. Well, you're in show business, right? And a guy told me this a long time ago when I was selling souvenirs at Shea Stadium. I had like one pennant I was carrying around, and I couldn't sell it. And the guy gives me like 20 more and says, here, go out with these. And his philosophy was, look prosperous. If you're in sales, look like $1 million.
Yep.
And if you're selling yourself, I mean, do you really want to be telling people, hey, you know what? We can't buy a listener.
No, you can't.
We gave away a car yesterday, and we still had a 0.0 rating on the program. And we couldn't track anybody listening except for 2 guys in Germany that happened to be smoking a blunt somewhere at 5 in the morning in some red light district. Not exactly a demographic that you can present to sponsors faithfully here in South Florida and say, yeah, we're really killing it. But even if that was going on, I would be inclined to say, oh, yeah, it's going great. And then the people that you're telling that to, they all know that you just got blown out of a pretty good job. And it's unlikely that you've recovered so quickly when, I don't know. I mean, we love Ion Channel. It's great. But, it wasn't like it was in the limelight of the mainstream local radio, television listeners here. I don't mean to imply anything.
They do other stuff. I mean,
that's negative, but yeah, they're in production. They do all kinds of stuff. They're launching satellites. I mean, they're amazing. This company,
they're just
absolutely well diversified. I mean, it would be worth anybody's time to look into. I don't want to suggest, what am I doing here? I'm like a all night radio host. Why don't you buy some of those silver coins I'm selling? No, you can buy an Ion Channel. It's a great company. Absolutely, I love it. But, and the people look at you and they say, oh, yeah, that's great, Defo. And they walk over to, whoever they're talking to and go, man, that guy's busted out. I wonder if Lubie's going to be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But now, all of a sudden, I mean, we're only a couple of months into this thing, and people are coming up to me and saying, hey, man, it's great, man. Looks like you guys are doing great. Which it may look that way. No, I mean, but it's a little bit of a quick turnaround for, the general opinion about what we're doing. And I'm very happy about that. I would have to say, very, very happy about that. All right, getting back to my mother. I mean, she was notoriously cheap. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things about doing the video stream is, I guess, at least every other day, it's good to put in a shave.
Yes.
I have a fairly quick growing beard in terms of it just showing up on my face.
Yep.
And I got this, like sort of baby face condition here where it's hard to shave without literally, I mean, having Lou Duva in your corner there. Hey, Lou, you got any more of that ammonia? We're going to need some. Kid's bleeding like a sieve. So and swell on the cheeks there. And that's kind of how it is on a Peel Yourself Off the Mat Monday.
Yes.
But my mom used to buy irregulars all the time. All right. I don't know. Were you ever subjected to that? And it was like a factory defect where, let's say you were buying a pair of Converse All-Stars. They had some that didn't really come out quite right, but you weren't sure what was wrong with them. But they had to throw them in a separate bin and call them irregulars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pants, shirts,
Yep.
sweaters, all of that stuff. And you're thinking you got yourself a deal, but the truth was there was a reason they were considered irregular because there was something inherently wrong with them.
Real.
Kind of like a lot of people that you meet.
Exactly.
Would you qualify yourself as an irregular? Yes,
Oh,
I would.
yes.
All right, so here's the deal. I bought, like, the last time I was in a store, I bought the cheapest razors.
No,
The
no.
cheapest razors. Not for any reason. It wasn't like I was particularly being cheap, but I've bought some, like, more expensive plastic razors, and they weren't all that great, right? Didn't really make that much of a difference. It's not like you're going to shave 5 times with these things. It's one and done, my
Okay.
friend. It's John Calipari. One and done. You're right out the door there. You got any sophomores on that team, John? Nope, haven't had one in years. We don't want to get into that whole thing. Tony will be with us on Wednesday to
We
bless
sing
college
his
sports.
praises. Sing his praises.
I love college sports. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy watching it. I actually was watching a little UConn women's basketball the other day just to see what is this Gino Auriemma all about.
Exactly.
At this stage of his career, right? I mean, obviously well accomplished. What has he won? Like 100 national championships? He's eclipsed the wizard, John Wood.
Probably.
He's had every great player there, and they've all gone on to great distinction and represented our country very proudly, all of these UConn women that played basketball there. I remember calling a UConn game at the Gampel Pavilion, which is their little home arena there. I don't know, did they still play any games there, or did they get too big for the Gampel Pavilion? It was about a 8,000-seat arena right there on the campus. They played some of their games at big arenas like the Hartford Civic Center. This was UConn back in the day. I mean, I'm talking early 90s when Jimmy Calhoun was coaching the team, and they were great, man. They had one great player after another, right? Rip Hamilton was like an afterthought.
Yep.
Some of those UConn teams.
Oh, no. The late 90s, early 2000s, they killed it.
They were great. They had a kid from Israel, Duran Sheffer. Never
Yes.
forget the guy. Could shoot the rock a little bit. Right, and I'm so happy that UConn had like a Jewish kid on the team. I'm assuming he was Jewish. He was from Israel.
He
No?
was Jewish,
They were a
yes.
good shot.
Jeffrey was Jewish, yes.
But anyway, I'm calling a game there, and the UConn men were big. I mean, I forget who they had. They had like a bunch of really big stars on that team. And then, I'm walking in the arena. The place is already rocking. And the women were just as big as the men in terms of not size, but, popularity there in Connecticut, in that area of the country. And, wow, I mean, so Gino's been doing this for a long, long time at a very high level. You can't take that away from the guy. But a maniac, right? Because he's recently been subjected finally to criticism for these blowouts where he leaves all his starters in. They're up 50 with a minute and change to go. You can't give some poor little girl that has been carrying a water bucket in practice a shot to go in there and maybe make a layup, get her name in the box score. Wasn't that the goal if you were a scrub on a team?
Yes, 100. Just get out.
Garbage time, right? Everybody's chucking in garbage time. You just want to see your name in a box score there so you could walk around and go, well, look at that, man. I made a bucket.
Honestly.
But I'm watching this, and I want to embrace women's college basketball because I believe the game and women have really just grown wildly in terms of their ability to play the game. It used to be the occasional girl would come out there and, maybe be able to hang with the guys. And now, I mean, there's some women that can actually play some basketball, and the flow of the game is good, but the shot making is atrocious. My God. I literally, and UConn won the game, but they hoisted a series of the ugliest bricks I have ever seen. No, really. I mean, Lubie, like the
believe
kind
you.
of things, air balls from 12 feet,
Oh, really?
shots just pounding off the backboard and then missing everything as they ricocheted back. They were so badly shot that, even from straight away off the backboard, they drew no iron whatsoever.
Oh, Jesus.
Shots 3 feet over. This was a UConn women's team.
Yeah,
Supposed to be great.
Yep.
I have to say, I had to turn it off. I watched an old episode of the Pro Bowlers Tour with Carmen Salvino, and it was better. But no, I mean, not to demean the women's game. That might have been an aberration, but can they not shoot the ball at all?
The women shoot fine. It's just a different kind of game. We've gotten used to the men shooting at such a weird clip that like the women's game, it's always a little bit slower. But I mean, it's still. I don't think they shoot that badly.
No, I mean, if you watch the first 10 minutes of the UConn UCLA women's basketball game, I believe this was taking place on Saturday. You will never see a worse display. There was one girl on UConn that was hot. Otherwise, it was a disaster. First quarter. Watch the first quarter of that game. You will see a series of the ugliest bricks you have ever seen. I think Oriema actually, his head literally exploded. And I don't know if he left the arena. He would have been embarrassed that this was a team that he was representing as the head coach. And he's volatile as can be, too. So how they came back and won that game, I don't know. It was not like UCLA was lighting it up. But it wasn't exactly UCLA, UConn, say, early 90s, if you were talking about men's basketball. But there was just tremendous enthusiasm for the women's game there. I would imagine, I don't know, does that still exist in Connecticut, that the women's team might be bigger than the men's team at this point?
Like if they're falling off the guys.
Unbelievable, yeah. No, I believe they're making a little comeback. Isn't Danny Hurley the head coach there? Danny Hurley?
Oh, maybe.
One of the Hurleys, Bob Hurley's brother, and, of course, the son of the legendary high school coach from New Jersey.
Senior.
Yeah, the Hurleys are in town. All right, the Dolphins were off yesterday. John Congemi is going to join us in the 8 o'clock hour. We call it Dateline Dolphins, but we really go all over the board there when it comes to college and pro football with John, who's a tremendous analyst. Looking forward to that. That's brought to you by Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill. Now, the joke was, and this would have been very, very applicable if you were talking about a bye in, say, week number 8 of the current NFL season, then the old joke would have applied, and we could have used it today here as we got into a little Dolphins football, which now seems to all of a sudden be completely at ease. The entire town is pacified that the boys are back. And that's fine. You know what? I respect any team that is in the dumps, that rises to the occasion and makes a comeback. It is hard when you're getting hammered all the time. They lost to Jacksonville.
Yes.
One of the 2 Jacksonville wins. Believe it or not. Wow. How about this? In the AFC East, how weak is this division when one of Jacksonville's wins is against Miami and the other one is against the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah.
Who again laid, you can't say they laid an egg. They were getting hammered by the Bucs. That is one of the most difficult beats any gambler can take. When you lose to a touchdown in overtime in an NFL game after your team has possessed the ball.
Yeah.
Because there's no inclination and really no great incentive for the team that gets the second possession to do anything but kick a field goal. If they get to the 1 yard line, they bring the kicker out there. You just say, let's take this right now, boys.
Yep.
In which case, those that were getting 3 with the Buffalo Bills, as I was in my personal one-on-one machismo special against Francesco, I have the Bills. They're in an impossible position. I had already thrown in the towel in that game. And the Bucs are up like 27-10 in the fourth quarter with 9-10 minutes to go.
Yes. I stopped watching. I'm like, this is boring.
What a miracle comeback by the Buffalo Bills. Fantastic. They hit on everything they had to hit on, and the Bucs did nothing that they needed to do, even with the great Tom Brady at the helm. This was just tremendous stuff.
Perfect.
And sure enough, the worst possible thing, I'm screaming at the screen because I'm ready to just get out of this thing with a push.
Yeah, take the push.
Push me right off the cliff because this guy makes the field goal. I'm screaming at the screen, Norwood. And the guy makes it right down the middle, man. Yeah, splits the uprights here, and we're going overtime, boys. Left Tommy Boy like 22 seconds on the clock. He did nothing. He gets shellacked, and then he takes a knee. Overtime. So Buffalo wins the toss now, and you're in pretty good shape because you can win the game. You can have them in a position where they get a field goal, and even if the game ends in a dead heat, you win. You're yelling at the screen, run some clock. I was doing a lot of yelling at that screen.
You win. You're getting through.
There's only one game, Deforrest. Don't get carried away. This is what happens.
It's not about this game.
You're victimized by a lifetime of gambling, and you have no place to go.
Well, Francesco's killing you. Like, you're going to be broke.
Killing me.
Like, this is ridiculous.
He is annihilating me. I mean, and he was like 1-3 going into the late games in NFL games, and he had Army, which everybody did, in the Army-Navy game, which I don't know. Did that turn out to be some kind of classic? I don't think so.
I don't know. I didn't.
Navy won, though, getting 7 points. So, I was already in pretty good shape in that proposition there, one-on-one with this guy, figuring that he's going to blow the entire bowl season, as almost everybody does.
Yes.
Does anybody know how to bet a bowl game?
The professor does well. That's about it.
Well, and there are a couple of things that there are givens in the NFL right now. You can bet all you want against Jacksonville every week. Every week.
Irby's lost his mind.
Lost his mind. Think about this.
And he won't quit. It's amazing. It's like the greatest.
I want to get to Urban Meyer here. But anyway, I mean, so Buffalo gets the ball in overtime. They win the coin toss. You're thinking, great. They go 3 and out like a bunch of stooges after this brilliant rally. And now you hand the ball to Tom Brady, and all he needs is a field goal. And I'm thinking, Tom, all you need is a field goal.
Yeah, exactly.
So what happens with Buffalo, who is like a mystery team in decline? But, I think you now have the caveat of knowing and realizing because, you don't think of Jacksonville as having won any games. And yet, oddly, with New England leading the AFC East, and deservedly so at this point, they're playing better football than anybody else in terms of realizing what it is that they need to do. Bill Belichick, genius again, to win games, whereas other coaches have no idea how to get their teams over the top. No idea whatsoever. And, it happened again. I mean, this McDermott guy is spitting up blood now.
Yeah, oof.
And then to get beat with just a guy across the middle, a little nothing pass. Brady, of course, just, flicks it right in there. And here goes Perriman, who hasn't been on the field, I don't think.
I was going to say, when he caught the ball, I'm like, is that the guy that was at UCF? Like, Perriman. I'm like, Brashad Perriman is on the Bucs? I'm like, what is going on?
I thought it was the Perriman that played for the University of Miami. He had as much of a likelihood of catching the game-winning touchdown pass in overtime, where all of a sudden now you go from being in a position where the worst you could do is tie, possibly win the game in a miracle fashion, and instead squashed like a grape. You end up losing, splattered all over the windshield.
By that game.
All right, here's the thing. Is Urban Meyer, I mean, right now, you would have to say that he is the worst professional coach, and he makes Rich Kotite look like Lombardi. How has he won 2 games, though? That's even more miraculous. Everybody thought the same thing, did they not? Wow, Urban Meyer getting Trevor Lawrence. He's the one guy to be a cinch, to be a top-notch quarterback. I mean, it's Andrew Luck all over again.
Yep.
It's Peyton Manning. It's Troy Aikman. This guy is a cinch to be a good pro quarterback. And, he's doing nothing, 0 development there. And this is what struck me, Lubie, and I don't know if you agree with this, or people out there, I don't know if you guys agree with this. In fact, we have the chat line here, which is relatively bare right now, so hopefully you guys will get involved there and give us your comments on this. But you would think this, that from a philosophical standpoint, is that the second time we've gone philosophical? Just in one segment here? I believe so. From a philosophical standpoint, that college coaches would be held far more accountable for what goes on than pro coaches would be. Pros, they're grown men. They're all making big money. It's much more wide open. There aren't these strict set of regulations about how you can acquire people. I mean, they have the regulations, obviously, but when you can acquire somebody simply by giving them $300 million, it's a lot different than, having to go through all of the scrutiny that was involved in, having a kid recruited and all of this other stuff. And then on top of that, I mean, supposedly you're in a influential teacher's mode, which Urban Meyer, I mean, perfect for that. He was a professor of ethics and integrity at Ohio State just recently.
Yes, a few years ago.
I was thinking about going out there and just, what do they call that when you monitor the course or whatever? When you go like ad hoc or whatever it is.
Yeah. Sit in on it or whatever, shadow or whatever.
Yeah. Audit the course? What is that called?
Audit.
Is it called audit the course?
Audit. Yeah, audit.
See, I don't like the word audit.
I know. That's why each of us can figure up that word.
Did you keep any records, Mr. Deforrest? Records? What do you mean? Oh, yeah, sure.
There's your record.
How many guys go pentangely at an IRS audit? Everybody does. I said, yeah, sure, right off the uniforms. I was outfitting the entire crew. Yes, it cost me $75 every time I had it dry cleaned. I can't believe old Mo was still charging me those rates. Unbelievable. But, so you would think college coaches would be more accountable for what goes on in their programs, and that it would be like a lot looser in the pros. But nobody ever scrutinized. I mean, they did, but nobody did anything about like what Urban Meyer did as a college coach.
Nah,
It was, complete Wild West syndrome there,
Yep.
as anything goes, right? And the obvious example that everybody throws up there is like Aaron Hernandez had a pile of weapons charges,
Yeah.
as if he was operating some kind of a rebel anti-U.S. organization.
I kept playing.
And he was recruited heavily. I mean, you're looking for a character kid, all right? Now, a sad story all the way around. I mean, just absolutely tragic, this guy. But, of course, was he getting any of this kind of input that he might need to help himself from Urban Meyer? Not to blame Urban Meyer for what happened ultimately, but let's face it, nobody ever scrutinized what was going on there at any point in his career, including the Ohio State thing, but with the guy that he knew was, beating his wife.
Yep.
And Urban's, I don't know nothing about that. We have it here. Your sworn statement, Mr.
Exactly.
that you witnessed this on several occasions.
Urban's the best. Doesn't give a shit.
But now as a pro coach, I mean, he is finally coming under some scrutiny for being
Scumbag.
like a strange cat, and not necessarily. I mean, Jim Harbaugh is a strange cat,
He's a
but sort of in a good way, right? This guy is just a strange cat, is he not? Urban Meyer. How's he going to last past this season?
Oh no,
Things
he's not.
continue.
He's not making it past this year. I just think it's amazing that he's making it through. Like he just keeps going. Like no one likes him. Jags fans, I don't think the management likes him.
He's ripping his players. He's ripping his coaches. They're denying that now.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's everybody's fault but his.
Yeah, he's
Which
a joke.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen. Who would watch Jacksonville football? This guy Khan. Thank God he's worth like as much as any sheik in Saudi Arabia. Not that I don't know what his descent is. What is he, Canadian? I'm not sure. He had invented a bunch of truck parts.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, patented the thing I think that you step on so you can get in your truck if it's jacked up there on hydraulics.
Uh-huh.
Like if you're in California somewhere at a stoplight and all of a sudden the guy's car goes up 6 feet and then takes off. That's always a strange feeling, Lubie. When you're at a traffic light and you're next to like a Volkswagen Bug, and the next thing you know, you think you're in a monster truck competition, demolition derby, monster trucks, demolition derby today.
It says he's a Pakistani American billionaire.
Business
man is how they describe.
Well, a lot of his money is going to be going to Urban Meyer to take a vacation. I would think after the season.
No, he's done.
But totally unaccountable, right? As a college guy, and all of a sudden, as a pro, all of it starts to unravel because you can't be that kind of jerk in professional football.
Oh, you're just not winning. If he was winning, he can get away. I mean, John Gruden got away with a lot, as we found out.
Yeah,
he's won over the years, and people liked him. Like I
still kind of liked Gruden. I mean, his opinion may not have been a very favorable one on virtually anything. Did he like anybody? I remember we had that whole theory. He spared the Jews, which was a good thing. Did he write anything about the Jews in anything? No. So he left us out.
He probably
we
did.
can feel good about that. All right, a couple of other observations here from the NFL Sunday, and John Congemi is going to join us, and he will, as they say in the business, break it all down, my friend. And the business is changing here because if you can give guys a little gambling edge, that whole Pat McAfee thing, you see that? What is that? $30 million a year for 4 years to sponsor a show, a radio show.
That like the game, you always mocked when they tried to run away from gambling, and you always said if they could find a way to make money on it, they'd love gambling, and that was quick. That happened my whole life, your whole life. They ran away from gambling, and within 2 years, once they realized, oh, FanDuel and DraftKings can be a part of what we do. Okay.
Well, some people never realize that, like our previous employers. But nonetheless, it was funny, too, because, I mean, for years, I always got that. Gambling was kind of it wasn't really a taboo subject. People talked about it. Obviously, people were doing it. I mean, the mob didn't get to be the mob without gambling. And look at Las Vegas.
Yeah, without gambling.
Now that it's corporate and legit there in Atlantic City, everywhere you go. I mean, people are sending it in on these games. In many cases, it's the only way to remotely make these games interesting.
Yep. Honestly.
Although in this age of parity now, I mean, every game seems to come down to the last second. It's getting very much like the NBA, where you only need the last 4 minutes of the ball game, and the rest of it. Oh yeah, LeBron has 37 already, huh?
Yeah.
Hasn't made a shot here in a clutch. He's a loser. No, I'm a big LeBron fan, man. What did he do last night? Another triple double, and not too bad, right? What is he? He's like 43 years old. Dwayne Wade has been like, he has his third job in show business already.
Yes.
Carmelo's still hoisting him, though,
Yes,
right
he's
there with LeBron.
So
How
weird.
about that? They should have got Darko Milicic, to get on that team also. They would have been in good shape. Maybe bring back Bosch if he's okay. All right, we're coming back with more. There was a lot going on in the NFL. The Jets stink. They lose to New Orleans. The Giants stink. They get crushed like a grape. The Jets are the worst team in the league against the point spread at 3-10.
Oof.
If you could identify a couple of things before the season starts and limit yourself, see, this is where responsible gambling, money management, and discipline, like a perfect storm, I always get the fish. They converge in kind of an ugly fashion, and you just can't control yourself in one of those aspects. But if you could identify that Green Bay, and how about this, the best team in football, according to many, Arizona, those two are the best against the spread. And they're covering, I don't know, people just question whether they're really that good all season
They're
long.
underestimated. Yeah, I mean, the Aaron Rodgers nonsense really threw people off. And then the Cardinals, like you talked about it last week, we had multiple people say, yeah, they're really good. You're like, I don't know. They're like, no, they're good.
All of the insiders, which leads me to believe that maybe they're not very good.
Exactly.
That Cliff Kingsbury is going to be exposed as a complete fraud, and his entire concept is going to go up in smoke by week 2 of the postseason. Green Bay, Dallas, Arizona, and New England are the best teams against the point spread this year.
That's crazy. The Dallas
far and away. And at the very bottom of the list, the New York Jets at 3-10. Dolphins are like mid-pack there, around 500, as is their legitimate record, straight up. So nothing going there. It's a wash. But could you have figured that Green Bay was going to be any good? Not after week number 1. Maybe that's what influenced everybody, right? Didn't they get slaughtered by New Orleans and curled up in a fetal position? Was a disheveled-looking semblance of his former self, Aaron Rodgers, and you thought, wow, this guy has really lost it.
Yep.
When he didn't get the Jeopardy job, it must have just crushed his mind to the point where lobotomy might be the only situation. I mean, he looked bad over there, did he not?
Yes.
Trashed. It was the Nick Nolte mugshot. It was. And then the next week, boom. I mean, they start winning every game. And against the point spread, they cover easily. They did it again last night. It looked like a cinch cover for the Bears. You cannot trust the Bears. Bring back Jim McMahon and some of that feeling that we had back in 1985, please. If you're going to have the Bears, which I did in this ballgame last night, getting 12, I already had thrown in the towel. Ref, stop it. It's a killing.
Oh, my God.
And sure enough, they lose by like 15 points, 45-30. They're up 27-24 at halftime. Overplayers are dancing in the streets. And they're doing it in a bizarre fashion. Jakeem Grant, did you see this?
Yes.
Dolphins give up on a guy. All of a sudden, he's Deion Sanders, streaking up the sidelines with the only punt return for a touchdown this year. Think about that. Very rare.
Of course.
You would normally get somebody would blow a coverage or whatever. Yeah. Man, that's a blown coverage, Joe. Look at that. Right up the middle like it was the Red Sea. Tony Sperano coaching special teams. Sorry, Tony. He was a good guy. All right, we have a lot to do. Peel yourself off the mat Monday here. Hialeah Park, they had the tournament. The boys, I don't think, fared so well. Jersey Powell was involved, and I believe Don't Mention My Name was also in there. And I didn't hear anything about any winning or any celebrations. Like, hey, Dave, we're going to Vegas.
If they did well, you would have heard. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Maybe not. Maybe they don't want me to go with them, I mean, I'm just kind of tagging along there, making ugly faces because I'm losing. That kind of thing. It could be a drag, right? When the other two guys are winning and you're just getting thumped.
Yes, from both
Try
ends.
not to let it show how impossibly jealous I am of their position. It happened to me. This happened to me Friday, Lubie. This is a good one, just to end this whole thought process on, as we're kind of freewheeling it today on a Peel Yourself Off the Mat Monday. John Congemi in the 8 o'clock hour nailed down some things. I have all of the bowl games. They get underway this Friday.
Week. Yep.
the bowl season.
Thank God.
Is there anything before that? No, Friday. There are a couple of games.
Yeah.
What do they have? Is the Potato Bowl one of them? I wanted to bet that game. Bahamas.
The Potato Bowl.
Is that like the Cork Bowl? What is that? Is that in Sonoma? What is that second one? I can't see it.
The Bahamas Bowl, and then you have the Cure Bowl.
Oh, Cure Bowl. Okay.
Illinois, one of our MACtion teams. Oh, and formerly really good. Now, I guess not. Coastal Carolina.
You say Cure, and I say Cork. You know, to me, they're one and the same. You want a Cure on Cork this?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice bottle of rum power here. It'll hit the spot. But, yeah, I have a lot of bowl games coming up there on tap. John Congemi will help us get into that a little bit. Although I'm assuming that the bowl games will be a burial for the public.
Oh, yeah.
I believe record profits will be made by all of the people, the gambling entities out there. And you will see some kind of injunction so the Hard Rock can get back in action here in town. Everybody's going to want to be taking action on the bowl games because they will be impossible to figure out. Who's in and who's out? That's the question there, right? You were in, now you're out.
UCF and UF play. They're in the Gasparilla, the Temple Bowl, which is pretty cool.
Gasp being the key syllable there. That's unfortunate. Billy Napier, though, is going to turn it around.
There you go.
Brian Kelly is going to turn it around.
Kelly's going all Louisiana. Like, he's really
Lincoln Riley going to turn it around.
Yes.
Mario Cristobal going to turn it around. They all say the same thing, man. That speech. Who wrote that speech? Is that out of a Cliff Notes for
it's Lincoln.
coaches that get hired at exorbitant amounts of cash because they're supposed to be the latest savior?
New Rockney.
Yeah.
Wooden.
Exactly. I mean, all of a sudden, you have a guy here. Everybody said the exact same thing. Well, everybody's got to buy in. That's what it's all about. We need to get the people out there in the community. And, it's like, my God, how much sugar this is. This guy's going to do not much better than the last guy because the circumstances dictate that this is going to be the case. What is wrong with you people? That UN president finally surfaced, by the way.
Oh, Frank.
Frank, I think is his name, right?
Yeah.
It's like Julio Frank, though, like the reliever for the Mets. Here comes Julio Frank into the game. The left-hander's been getting touched up a little bit there, Joe. But you know what? Buck Showalter says he has a lot of faith in this guy. And besides that, he brings him in every time this situation occurs. Great.
I guess it's not 80s. Showalter's coaching wants to coach now. So
Buck's coming back. Is he really like the best option? Unbelievable. I don't know. I mean, he's probably okay. Same as
fine,
the others.
I mean, like, he's been coaching 40 years or 60 years. I don't even want to know.
All right, the fun starts here in just a little while.
I feel like I heard your wife yelling. Did I?
I don't know. She might have been calling a dog. That's possible, yeah.
I heard a stink.
Well, she's bailing the dogs out of here, and then the movers are coming, and let's hope they don't take the desk right out from underneath me.
Just give me 2 hours.
All right, we're here on Ion Channel. We'll be here until 9 o'clock today. Peel yourself off the mat Monday. Very excited about it. Hialeah Park, we started talking about the tournament there, and they had that. This was Sunday, yesterday. Jersey was in there. Don't mention my name. A lot of people. I heard it was just a spectacular event.
Nice.
And congratulations to the winners. Now, we still have big things happening. Check the website, hialeahpark.com, and you will see some phenomenal holiday dinner and dining and party opportunities. And you know this for a fact, Mike Lubitz, and you're a fairly discerning critic of food. Although, some of the stuff you like would be questionable, but you know that Hialeah knows how to do it when it comes to food, catering.
Yep.
I mean, just a great, great dining experience there at all times. And they really do it right at the right price. So if you're thinking about having a big holiday party, your office, whatever, the full splendor of Hialeah Park. And, had you gotten married there, Lubie, it would have been so much, more intimate for me.
I know. I
To
tried.
have been able to bet horses while you were getting married. I mean, that whole ceremony, I could have missed it. Would have been okay. Just show up for the hors d'oeuvres and the cocktails and then right back to the race book. Would have been fantastic. But a great idea for parties. HialeahPark.com. Get all the information on that. And then don't forget the big boxing thing. There was a lot of good boxing over the weekend. At least one of the fights was the week before this. Gervonta Davis.
Yep.
Got a real challenge. I like when the late substitute ends up being a guy that can really give it a go.
And you released it.
Yeah, this was that was a pretty good fight. The challenger really brought it. And it was reminiscent of the fabled Manny Pacquiao debut on the big-time stage. as he beat this guy in Las Vegas on the undercard of a De La Hoya fight, and he was like a substitute. They called him like 2 hours before the fight, said, "Hey, can you get the Filipino in town? Yeah, we'll send a plane." Nah, he's going to take a beating here. This guy's undefeated. And he shook up the world. And look what happened. He's going to be president of the Philippines. All right, we're coming back with more. Hialeah Park. Check it out, hialeahpark.com. The boxing is going to be great there. A lot of Cuban rising stars and established stars going to be on the card. Frank Fiore is the man. I mean, he really is. Bob Arum and Don King all rolled into one when it comes to putting these kind of shows on there in conjunction with their good friends, Warriors Boxing, Leon Margulies, Leo de Cubas. Unbelievable. Just great guys. And they've been doing this for a long time, and they know how to do it right there. It's a beautiful scene at Hialeah. We're planning on being there ringside, and hope you guys will join us. And that's coming up in January, all at Hialeah Park. All right, coming back with more in a moment here on Ion Channel. Happy to be here. Always our thanks to Jack, Amy, Brad, and the people there for putting this whole thing together. I've been having a lot of fun. And as I said, I don't get that kind of queer-eyed look anymore when I say what's going on. Like, what are you doing? Oh, okay. So, and then the follow-up question is, how's that working out?
That's exactly. You nailed that look. That's the look. I'm like, what do you want? I mean, we're doing a lot. They're like, what do you mean? A lot.
How's that working out?
Well.
All right. Well, it's working out well. The future is bright here. All right, kids. We'll see you in a moment. Now that.
The time.
7:41 on the East Coast. Play the ponies in style at Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style, and you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette, in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
Hey, folks, Tony Segreto here. What if I told you you could go to a great restaurant, feel completely safe because their COVID protocol is unmatched, have an amazing meal, have a great time. When the bill comes, you won't get sticker shock. You're going to say, that's too good to be true. No, it's not. Because I'm talking about Texas Roadhouse. Great family atmosphere, great atmosphere for a couple, great atmosphere if you just want to go by yourself and watch a game and have the coldest beer in town. And while you're doing that, have the best bread in town. All at Texas Roadhouse. Everything you get there is fresh every day and made sure it's served at your table, hot and ready to go. And the best part is you don't get sticker shock because the prices are amazing. Texas Roadhouse.
Hey, it's Mike Mayo for Even Keel Fish Shack. Corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard at Lauderdale by the Sea. It's my favorite place now for great seafood in a casual beachfront setting. They've got happy hour 4 to 7 Monday through Friday. They've got great dishes like grilled oysters and oysters on the half shell, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, octopus. They also have burgers and chicken for those who don't like the seafood. They're open 7 days a week for a lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack. Go say hi to Dave and Brad and tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you.
Recently we realized it's not just hurricane season that can hurt us. Any time of year, things can happen to your home or business. And the insurance company can be your friend, but they also can be your enemy. Horizon Public Adjusters, Justina Testa, are here for you to help this process go so much easier. Before you call the insurance company, call Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa at 954-809-8752. Would you go into court without an attorney? So why would you go up against an insurance company without Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa? 7 to 10 times more money recovered with a public adjuster than if you went on your own. If there's no recovery, there's no fee. Give them a call at 954-809-8752. Why go up against insurance companies alone when you can have Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa on your side?
Buy or lease a Taos and take it to the house at Deal Volkswagen. Anna and her team make your next VW purchase or lease so easy with new inventory rolling in daily and the biggest selection of certified pre-owned vehicles in the business. You can make your deal online at dealvolkswagen.com or visit the beautiful showroom in the classic location, 3601 Bird Road, right in the heart of the Gables. Or give Anna and the team at Deal a call at 305-448-DEEL. Jettas, Passats, Tiguans, Atlas models, and the hottest vehicle in the industry, the new Taos, all at unbeatable prices and all ready to roll off the showroom floor at the #1 Volkswagen dealership around, Deal Volkswagen. Florida, which is in the state of Florida, has been in the Stone Age forever. I mean, we're still operating by blue laws. I don't even know if you can buy a beer before 12 o'clock on a Sunday. I'm not sure what religious cult is responsible for the legislation that takes place, but essentially Florida is structured this way. We're here in South Florida, which is very hip and up with modern times. And once you get, what'd you say, north of Palm Beach, Mike Lubitz, West Palm Beach, Florida, for those unfamiliar with the geography of the state, if you get like 30 miles out of town here, forget about it. It's hillbilly city. You're hearing banjo music and somebody's telling you to squat down like a pig when you pull up to the Waffle House. It's just the way it is.
The modern day odd couple, Defo and Lubie, are on now. It is, of course, the Defo Show.
Feeling ourselves off the mat here on a fine Monday edition of the Defo Show. Great to be with you. Jeff Deforrest, Mike Lubitz here on Ion Channel, ionchannel.com. All you have to do, it should be easy to find. It's right there, the logo, right there on the screen. Lubie,
Right.
if you're watching a video stream, if you're listening, and you want to see what we look like, although that can be, of tragic impact for a lot of people, right? Can we get sued? I don't think so, Lubie, based on... the fact that we may, give people a discouraging attitude if they see what we look like. Those guys have a television show? Amazing. Well, streaming. That's a whole new thing, right? Everything is heading in this direction. It's just amazing.
Sir.
Anyway, good to be with you here on Appeal Yourself Off the Mat Monday. John Congemi, brought to you by Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill. Mile marker 104. Could have used the weekend down there. That might have been the only way this weekend could have been better. Is to have gotten down to Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill, mile marker 104, Overseas Highway, Key Largo. Great spot. Looking forward to going down there before the season is over and having another one of those shindigs there with Jimmy. John Congemi going to join us. And I don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell you much. Clemson's in the Cheez-It Bowl. Are we to believe that Dabo Sweeney has sunk so heavily?
Well, next year's going to be fun. They now, within the last 3 years, have lost both their offensive coordinators. And Jeff Scott, who's been at USF for, I think, a couple years now. Tony Elliott, who just left to go to, Virginia.
Yeah.
And you lost Venables, who'd been there the entire run and by the end, I think was getting paid as much as many coaches at like $3 million a year. The highest paid DC now is at Oklahoma. Dabo's never had to do this. Retool. Saban does this every year. Retools the entire staff. But
but he brings in guys that were like pro coaches. Like, he's probably likely like next year, Andy Reid will be on his staff. If the Chiefs don't win it all this year. All of a sudden, there's Andy Reid as your offensive coordinator. I don't think, does Nick have to do anything? Probably not, right? I mean, Lane Kiffin was his offensive coordinator, a guy who is now worth zillions of dollars just a few short years later, as yet another savior there for Ole Miss. But they're realistic. See, they know they're not winning the SEC title. If they do, okay, maybe. I mean, by some miracle, right? Schnellenberger did it, won a national championship here, and nobody thought Miami could do that. So it is possible.
Yeah, you have
not as long as Saban is at Alabama, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
That name and likeness deal that their quarterback has, Bryce Young, and what? He's representing some diner in Tuscaloosa, and they're giving him $1 million. You have to sell a lot of pancakes to make that $1 million back, right? How is that happening?
I don't know. I don't know any
There's
of
a funnel of cash there that must lead straight to some oil well offshore. Unbelievable. So it's going to be tough to eclipse that, but they're realistic. And I don't know if University of Miami fans are when it comes to what it is that you're eventually going to be. This Julio Frank, man, really came in from the bullpen in like a bullpen car. You know, if he was rolling down a Mark Light there to toss a couple innings for the Canes. Would have been great. Anyway, great weekend all the way around sports. There was a big upset. I don't know if you caught this. You know that Amanda Nunes, or is it Nunes?
Oh, it's Nunes with the MMA.
The MMA fighter out of Miami. She's been sensational. I mean, she was better than every other woman in the sport.
Yep. Ronda
Rousey turned out to be a bit fraudulent.
Yes.
You think those early Rousey matches were fixed? All of a sudden, she got in there with like a real fighter and got her head knocked in.
Talked about it. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it for a while.
You thought that was all a fraud?
It was just
Staged by Dana White?
they
Yeah.
were gimmies. Yeah, they were a bunch of gimmies, and she kicked the crap out of the gimmies. She faced one decent fighter, and she got handled, worked.
Hammered, yeah, and then came back and
never
tried
seen
it
that
again.
word.
Thank God, I don't think she ever got in there with that cyborg chick. She is a maniac.
Never would have annihilated her.
But Nunez, I think I'm going to go with Nunez.
It's genius.
And we've seen her. She was making the rounds on Radio Row. We tried
Yep.
to get her on the show. We weren't able to make that connection. But, it would have been interesting because she really took over the entire UFC, became a headliner, I think.
Yep.
Did she not actually headline a major card?
Yeah.
Usually that kind of spot reserved for Conor McGregor or whatever other has-been Dana White wants to throw out there. There it is, right? If you wanted to make some headlines there, right? I don't know. I mean, if you're losing every fight, is it fair to say that you're not as good as you once were? At least with Conor McGregor, who used to be one of the more feared guys in there. It's short-lived, isn't it?
Yep.
Short-lived. And I'm not sure I feel comfortable with guys losing, or in this case, women losing also, because they had two upsets. One was kind of a mild one, that guy Poirier, who beat McGregor a couple of times.
I've talked to him a couple times.
Yeah, he lost, to another guy who was a slight underdog, and then you got like plus 650 on this girl. I believe her last name was Perez, and she beat Amanda Nunes with the rear naked choke, the very same hold that did Poirier in.
Oh no!
How exactly do you apply that? The rear naked choke. This is to the UFC what the Boston Crab was to wrestling back in the day. And the announcers immediately, they knew what was happening, right? That's it. That's the Boston Crab. That's a submission hold, Lou. It's only a matter of time. There it is. There it is. He's thrown in the towel. So the rear naked choke in the UFC, how many matches are won on that? Like guys are getting annihilated. Then all of a sudden they come up with this rear naked choke and they're right back in the thing. And it's Tap City, my friends. But that was a big surprise. People were betting, I think, 1,100 to win 100 on Nunez to win that match.
Oh, no.
1,100 to win 100.
Oh, no.
And I don't know how much action. I mean, you would have to be criminally insane to make a wager like that unless, what, you just like the action, Lubie? Is there that level of sickness out there?
That's crazy. That's
Could be.
Take talk like that.
Yeah, I mean, why would you do it? Anything could happen, right? Some bizarre fluke thing. She gets hit in the eye with an elbow and suffers a cut that causes her to lose.
No way.
Right?
You're not
Isn't
winning.
that legal in UFC?
Probably.
Everything's legal. You do whatever you want. If you can choke a guy, I mean, I stop short of putting choking in the rules. What do you think, Lubie? I mean, under the auspices of, these are human beings.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, is this, you don't want to compare it to, it had been compared, right, to cockfighting.
Yes, they've supposedly made it more humane, but I don't know. I've never gotten into the MMA is something we watched a lot of. It either is really boring or really scary. Like that's my problem with MMA. Like
usually the guys are lousy boxers by comparison to any level of professional boxing that you would see. And they kind of fight like, Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning. Just like silly, right?
Grab each other or they get hold.
Yeah. So, it doesn't, appeal to me that much from the boxing standpoint. And in the wrestling part, a lot of it is just spent with a guy in a hold where no guy is really doing anything of a specifically, useful nature. They're just like kind of holding on to each other for like 3 minutes, and the announcers are trying to make something of it. Like, wow, there it is. He's got that jujitsu background. It's really coming into play here, Joe. And then like Joe Rogan will go off for like 15 minutes about what a great fight this is, and you're watching two guys laying on top of each other in a twisted pretzel-like mode.
That's
I'm not going to have too many UFC fans tuning into the show. No, I mean, but it has its appeal. I understand it. I really do. I am not one to be inclined as any kind of sports. I guess you could call it what sportscaster here. That would tell you what you need to watch. I mean, I like a lot of bizarre stuff. I'm watching replays of fights that are a week old that I already know the result of, and sort of halfway fascinated by it, right? So, and that was really good stuff. And then there's a guy, and it's odd because we often reference the great Victor Conti. Not sure great What do you think?
The infamous. It's the infamous.
The infamous Victor Conti of
Great.
Balco Labs. Now, how did somebody not know right away that when a bunch of ball players are going into a strip mall and there's a sign up there that says Balco Labs, like it was Genco olive oil exchange, that there isn't something irregular, speaking of irregulars, going on there? Right? Like all of a sudden, Barry Bonds is showing up in San Mateo at some strip mall and coming out of there twice the size that he was when he went in.
Wait,
And
the one
nobody's
down
watching this?
The one down here was great. It was like A-Rod and Ichiro, like all these really like Manny into some place in Hialeah that
Yes.
no one would ever go. It was like, okay.
Women were getting like, added padding on their rear ends, getting, what would that be? Buttocks supplements.
Yeah, the
That's some, guy that had a bunch of tire inflator at a duplex in Hialeah. Not to diminish the neighborhood, of course, of the great Hialeah Park. But, there are some strange, bizarre, and you would have to say matters of the occult
yes.
type of things that go on there, including a lot of like really sharp suit sales. That used to be the thing there, right? One side of the duplex was a doctor's office, maybe even like an abortion clinic, and then the other side was selling like 3-piece suits.
Yes. 100%.
I got all the top brands. Come by Manny's in Hialeah. It was great. But anything bizarre could be conjured up there. That's for sure.
So yes.
All right, speaking of conjuring things up, John Congemi is going to join us here on the program. It's the Defo Show here on Ion Channel. I'm Jeff Deforrest. He's Mike Lubitz. Great being with you. Peel yourself off the mat Monday. Just Google the Defo Show, and you can find us. Let me tell you about these gentlemen at HST Insurance. These guys are solid, man. I think the period is winding down. Is it not, Lubie?
Yes, it is. I think it's this week, the 15th.
You need to make your decision and get some guidance on that from people that can help you out. The people at HST understand what a confusing time this can be. Everybody's hawking some kind of insurance supplement, especially for Medicare people. You really need to know what you're going for. They have a plan for you at HST. Their trusted advisors can find a plan that meets your needs. All you have to do is give them a call. It's free, no obligation, free consultation. 855-282-8022. Wherever you happen to be, HST Insurance, 855-282-8022. Let me also tell you, too, the championship meet is on at Gulfstream Park. Just unbelievable what's happening there. And, wow, they're going to be winding it up for the Pegasus, Lubie. That's the end of January. I don't like to look that far ahead. I like to look to the very next card that's coming up and the first race. Some friends of ours, red hot, Joey from Cafe Seville, I believe he was punching away at Gulfstream on an Aqueduct pick 5. He just hit the one the previous day, and he and his buddies again, another 6 times. So everybody's having a good time, a jolly time out there. There's nothing like making some holiday cash by playing the ponies, and you can do that in style at Gulfstream Park. Now, that's 7 days a week with the simulcasting and, of course, live racing right now with the top jockeys as they have trainers and the best horses as the championship meet is on. Big stakes racing over the weekends. Make your plans to get out to Gulfstream Park. So many things to do there, including the village of Gulfstream Park, which has all kinds of dining and entertainment opportunities. Just a great, great place to go. And I love it there, and we love representing them here on the show. Gulfstream Park, and you can see all of the calendar events, a lot of concerts going on and different things in conjunction with the holidays at gulfstreampark.com. Plus, the casino is hopping. All right, we're coming back with John Congemi. We'll go Dateline Dolphins, the Dolphins, and the old joke, right? I don't think I ever got to that. 45 minutes I started. I went astray there at the top of the program. And the old joke was always applicable about, if it was week 8, the Dolphins would have been 3-point underdogs in the bye week.
The bye.
There it is, people. I laid it out there for you.
You started that at the beginning of the show, and then you never went back. Yep.
It literally took me 1 hour to ramp up that point. Is that good or bad? I don't
Just
know.
got back to it. Sometimes you never do.
It came back, yeah. No, all of a sudden, it just floated right back into my head there. There's a circus going on in there because it's a Peel Yourself Off the Mat Monday. We're having a good time. He's Mike Lubitz. I'm Jeff Deforrest here on Ion Channel, and very proud to be here. Ion Channel 2022. Somebody had a thing on social media saying, don't say that 2022 is going to be your year. But we believe it is right here on Ion Channel. It's all happening right here, courtesy of the good people there. All right, we're coming back with more in a moment. John Congemi joins us. Dateline Dolphins. Look, obviously, at the bowl season, the things that are going on in college football, and, of course, yesterday, another insane card in the National Football League. Back with John in a moment. Brought to you by Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill, mile marker 104 in Key Largo. Now that. We're an hour into this thing.
Hey there, it's Mike Mayo. Do you like steaks? Do you like seafood? Do you like classic old Florida charm? You could get that all and more at Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of 95. The Studiali family, they've been running the place a long time. It's been there more than 70 years. And it is now a place you can get early bird specials along with steaks to take home and throw on the grill yourself at the Butcher Shop. That's open 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. It's open for dinner every night starting at 4:30, but they are closed on Sundays. Go to Tropical Acres. It's a place to go for a great meal, great people, good value. Tropical Acres.
The championship meet is right around the corner at Gulfstream Park. The only place for live racing, Gulfstream's action has never been hotter. Whether it's on the track, in the casino, or part of the dining and entertainment offered at the Village of Gulfstream Park. Currently running Thursday through Sunday, Gulfstream's racing package is the best in the country, with all the top horses and people in the game pointing towards another tremendous winter season. Check out the remodeled first floor casino, open 7 days and nights a week, along with the many special events and concerts happening at Gulfstream Park. You can place your wagers from anywhere at firstbet.com. Check the calendar of events at gulfstreampark.com. Destination Sport Miami is here to revolutionize the sports landscape in South Florida. The largest indoor multifaceted sports complex in North America is on the way, with distinguished leaders of its various sports programs and unparalleled access to the finest indoor training fields and facilities. Destination Sport Miami will set South Florida apart as the destination of choice for elite athletic training and development, and for its dedication to youth programs and sports on all levels. A phenomenal concept and a powerful undertaking, Destination Sport Miami will also be an important commodity in the sports business community as well. Destination Sport Miami, its time has come.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in the Plantation location, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. Their hours have changed a little bit. Monday through Thursday from 3:30 to 10, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11:30 to 10. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Since day one of Old School, we've had Catholic Health Services be part of our family. They are recognized as the quintessential rehab facility in the Southeast for strokes, but it goes well beyond strokes, because Catholic Health Services is in the community of South Florida to help the community stay healthy. And if they're not healthy, get them healthy and get them back on their feet quicker than they could have ever expected. They do it every single day. It's step and repeat, 24/7. Catholic Health Services.
Buy or lease a house and take it to the house at Deal Volkswagen. Anna and her team make your next VW purchase or lease so easy, with new inventory rolling in daily and the biggest selection of certified pre-owned vehicles in the business. You can make your deal online at dealvolkswagen.com or visit the beautiful showroom in the classic location, 3601 Bird Road, right in the heart of the Gables. Or give Anna and the team at Deal a call at 305-448-DEEL. Jettas, Passats, Tiguans, Atlas models, and the hottest vehicle in the industry, the new Taos, all at unbeatable prices and all ready to roll off the showroom floor at the #1 Volkswagen dealership around, Deal Volkswagen. We welcome to the show John Congemi, who joins us for Dateline Dolphins. John, how are you, my friend?
Defo, I'm doing well, and that's not the only thing that's going to reach a new height. I'll be at about 220, 225 after this football season if we visit too much. Because the food's outstanding down at Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill.
Grab a bagel and a schmear, plus some Defo and Lubie. Welcome back to the Defo Show.
Welcome back to the show on this Peel Yourself Off the Mat Monday, the Defo Show here on Ion Channel, ionchannel.com. You catch us very easily by Googling the Defo Show. You'll find all of the shows pretty much, complete archives there. Amazing what you can do online these days. I'm Jeff Deforrest. He's Mike Lubitz, and the author of that statement. And there was some legitimate concern as of just a couple of minutes ago, Lubie, about the whereabouts and whether or not we were going to feature the great John Congemi here on the show. But happy to say, whatever issue there was, it's been resolved, and there he is, the great one himself, Mr. John Congemi. Jonathan, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. A nice bye week for the Miami Dolphins on Sunday, so I got to peruse around the NFL and check out some games and see some good football, some bad football, and everywhere in between. So it was a fun weekend for me.
And we weren't able to use the standard joke here because they're now on a 5-game winning streak that the Dolphins would be 3-point underdogs in the bye week. And that's been the case. I used to love this too, John, about doing these kind of shows. And you were with the Finsiders. You guys had a lot of time to kill on that program. And would you debate the relative merits of the, say, mid-season versus late bye? And people would actually have like hour-long conversations, hours and hours on end about, well, you know what, I think it comes at a good time of the year there, Joe. But I don't know. I mean, it does seem like kind of, I don't know, did they blow their momentum they had? Anybody would just be salivating, waiting for a patsy like the New York Jets to come to town.
Yeah, I don't think any team, no matter what league you're playing in, when you're on a 5-game winning streak, wants to stop playing football. No matter if it's in the beginning of the year, the end of the year, middle of the season, where normally you would get your bye week. I think the Patriots, as well as the Miami Dolphins, the latest possible bye week this year was last week, and it didn't come at a great time for the Dolphins. But for the guys playing the game, I'm sure it did, because they've been going since preseason, and it's been a rough start. It's been a really good middle, and hopefully it's going to be a good finish. And this bye kind of propels them and gets them healthy, gets them rested, and this 4-game sprint to the finish is going to be interesting for the Miami Dolphins, and hopefully they can continue on with their winning ways coming back off the bye week.
And everybody else stinks. I just had this realization this morning because, I want to get into this whole Urban Meyer thing with you, John Congemi, with us here on Ion Channel as we go Dateline Dolphins. But, I mean, it's just absolutely insane, to think that all is good now with the Miami Dolphins. Like all of a sudden, Tua is Santa Claus, a gift.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day, you came down a chimney and just left everything for us that we needed. All of the community efforts are extremely upbeat and uplifting. There's nobody like going, "Hey, Phillips, you're a bum. I know they should have drafted you." Chris Greer, I mean, isn't even mentioned. You hear more about like Pam Greer and her own movies than you do about Chris. And Brian Flores, like everywhere he goes, everybody has nothing but respect. All of a sudden, it's just a complete turnaround. And I've never seen everything so at ease for a team that was still like sub 500. But a lot of people have been appeased by what's gone on.
It's head scratching, to say the least, in terms of maybe a month and a half ago, everybody was gone. Everybody was fired. Yep. Tua was terrible. We have to go back into the well and get a quarterback. The defense was useless. The special teams were junk. Everything was bad. And now you kind of turn the page and see where the Miami Dolphins are after a 5-game win streak. They're not in the thick of things of the playoffs, but they're right on the fringe. I mean, everybody else is coming back to the Miami Dolphins as they're surging. The Buffalo Bills, they're 1 game away from being the Miami Dolphins, and we had christened them the kings of the AFC East. 2 months ago, no one was going to touch Buffalo, and no one was going to be Josh Allen and that defense. And now all of a sudden, Bill Belichick's back to where he's normally sitting atop the AFC East, and the Dolphins and the Bills are trying to nip at their heels. But the Dolphins story has been crazy. I have to admit, I'm the first one to say I lost confidence in a team that I was watching, because the show script that you were handed in the beginning of the season wasn't close to what I was watching. The defense wasn't aggressive. The offense couldn't push the football down the field. They couldn't run it. The offensive line was the same offensive line, and things weren't going really well. And all of a sudden, Tua comes back from a rib injury, comes back from a finger injury, plays really good quarterback play in terms of percentage and getting the ball out and masking things for their offense. You get a rookie at the slot receiver position in Waddle that has done terrific things. But the most important catalyst for this turnaround has been the defense. It's been the sacks. It's been the consistent pressure. It's been the good run defense, and it's been turnovers. Those turnovers and those sacks and special teams have led the offense to a short field where they've been able to take advantage of those opportunities, score in the red zone. And I think that's the recipe even last year when you look back. Defense set the tone. The offense kind of cleared the dishes off the table.
We're talking with John Congemi here, Dateline Dolphins, thanks to Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill of Key Largo. And on to that, we talked about this a lot with you, John, and a lot of people are throwing out there, well, this is the soft part of the schedule. Well, they did lose to the Falcons. At the time, were horrible. They are one of the only 2 wins the Jags have. Again, the whole season have been horrible. And they played a Ravens team in this stretch that was good at the time, and they demolished them. So it's not exactly true. It's around this time every year now. We've noticed a trend with Brian Flores. He figures it out. He makes tweaks, and his team on both sides of the ball is better. My concern is why can't he do the thing we always told Stanton to do? Like Mike Stanton, before he became Giancarlo, sucked the first month of the year. And then magically in May, he'd figure it all out. So like, why can't we pretend like July is August and then August is September? Like what? Because October, November, December are his wheelhouse. So how do we like fast track it? Because it feels like that defense did a 180, man. It became the defense we saw at the end of last year by November. How about we start in like September?
Yeah, I'm all for it, Lubie. I'm standing in that line with my pom-poms, right? I want to see that happen. I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't start with this attacking style of defense where you're going to go zero coverage. Nobody's in the middle of the football field. Everybody's man-to-man, and you're going to come after opposing quarterbacks. Those losses that you mentioned really do hurt now that you look back, because Jacksonville was just an awful loss. I mean, I don't know anybody that wanted to wear a Dolphin t-shirt, Dolphin polo the next day because, everybody was burning their stuff. Everybody was throwing stuff out, the Salvation Army, right? And the Atlanta game as well. The Atlanta game was bad. And then early in the year, the Raider game. That game was a very winnable game against a team that you didn't know what was going to happen to them, but it happened to them. So it's a situation where you have to find a way to win those games early in the year that are winnable, because they come back to haunt you. And right now the Dolphins are sitting uncomfortably because of what they did early in the year. I agree with you about trying to figure it out early, but you have 2 new coordinators on offense. You've got a second-year defensive coordinator that has some new pieces. He wasn't really sure how to utilize them. And I think that they didn't play well early. Now, for whatever reason, a horse doesn't come out of the gate properly. I don't
you have
know
to
why
remind me,
you
John.
stumble. Yes, I know, Defo. I wanted to get you involved here.
Well, just land another haymaker while you're at it. Yeah.
But the analogy, it kind of fits. I don't know why the Dolphins stumble sometimes early, but they do. And it's something that has to be looked at in the offseason. Maybe they change the way they do things in training camp or in OTAs. But now, this is where you want them to be. This is exactly the team that you felt like you were going to see in September.
Yeah, and everything's rosy right now, which is good. And I did want to mention again that Jacksonville, their 2 wins, oddly, are over AFC Eastern Division teams. The Dolphins obviously had brighter anticipation of the beginning of the season than 1-7, and the Buffalo Bills. I mean, this coach McDermott, he's going to blow his brains out. I don't mean to suggest it, but I mean, he looks like he's on the edge, literally, of an Urban Meyer nervous breakdown. All right, so I wanted to get into this Urban Meyer thing. We had a little philosophical discussion earlier this morning here. Lubie and I did with our audience about how college coaches, you would think, would be held much more accountable for what goes on inside their so-called organization. That they would want it to be in parameters of kind of high levels of integrity. You're trying to guide young men into their stage of manhood where they can forge their way, make their way into the world, and see what they can do with their lives. Whereas a pro coach, it would be kind of loosey goosey. They wouldn't come under that much scrutiny because they were in a situation where they were coaching grown men. And, the rules and the parameters aren't nearly as strict. So it's just the opposite, though. It seems like Urban Meyer is finally being held accountable for being somewhat of a bozo.
Yep.
maybe even I don't know. I mean, is asshole the appropriate terminology here? I'm not sure. I mean, John, you don't tend to go in that direction in any of your broadcasts, which I respect greatly, and I'm a believer in that. Also, I mean, but he was unaccountable for all of the things that happened under his watch while he was a college football coach, seemingly so because he was winning. And now, I don't know, is it just because he's losing or because he's in the pros that you're looking at Urban Meyer and going, what the hell is up with this guy?
I don't think you could look that disinterested to be a head coach in the National Football League, to be paid that many millions of dollars and kind of just stroll across the field at the end of the game and give a loosey-goosey handshake to the opposing coach.
Hey, thanks for the spanking.
That was his
appreciate
assistant in Vrabel. Like, he knows Vrabel too. Like, that's what's weird.
I don't know. I don't know what the body language is always the first thing that strikes me about anybody or anything when you're watching college sports, high school sports, NFL, whatever the league is. You always want to have your leaders, and you always want to have the guys that you hold in high regard. They have to be able to put up a good front if things aren't going well. They have to be able to show that, I'm going to be professional about this. I got my butt kicked, whatever the case is, I'm going to do the right thing. It doesn't seem like Urban got the memo in terms of that particular thing, because you could tell the players and the assistant coaches, look at the rumors coming out of there this week about the Urban challenging all of his assistants. What have you done? Prove to me why you should be here. I mean,
why not? Blame it on the dead guy. Exactly.
Don't point fingers, start pointing thumbs, like it all starts at the top, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, Defo. It's strange to me. I've been around him, and he's been a prince of a guy, have a conversation. But when you watch him on TV, it almost seems like now it's a different person. And I don't know if it's the NFL game that's changed him, because he still had that kind of smug kind of look. If you can remember back to the Ohio State sideline or a Florida sideline, he was much happier there because they were winning and he was in control, and they were going to be champions of something, whatever conference he was in. But now it just seems like he's disinterested, or he's lethargic and has no pop. He has no zip to him at all.
Had a suspect strength coach before the season started who we had to get rid of immediately, and then the whole Tim Tebow fiasco, which seemed like I guess a useful publicity stunt, because it's one of the few things you would remember about the Jacksonville season, except that they also have Trevor Lawrence, which now
throwing
the other
4 picks.
Criticism is showing zero development with the quarterback whisperer himself, a guy who had Tim Tebow win a Heisman Trophy and a national championship, and has done wonders with a lot of different quarterbacks during his career. All of a sudden, he can't make this guy into even a semblance of a pro, which is interesting, because that was the guy. I mean, he was Andrew Luck. He was Peyton Manning. He was the one guy, wow, this guy can't miss as a pro quarterback. And so far, he's floundering, maybe near the bottom.
Well, I wouldn't give up on him, because I think he has all the tools. It's the cast of characters, and it's going to be that way when you're number one. Go back and look at the history of all those guys.
Aikman and all of these examples, Manning too. Yeah, they all ended up having miserable seasons their first year. I don't know. Did Andrew Luck do well his first year? Did they?
They were solid.
Yeah, because they had a good team. They just had completely tanked. I don't know, based on some order from the organization itself, but. I think he did okay, right? Andrew Luck, his first year.
I'm pretty sure he fared much better than some of the others that you mentioned. But I think he went to Andrew Luck was gosh, that guy. I still can't believe he's not playing. He's still playing. Just walked away from not only millions of dollars, but just something that you thought he loved, and he had the complete, I guess, skill set and body type. I'll never forget going down to the Orange Bowl game, and I looked at Andrew Luck and I said, man, that guy's a quarterback. He looked like an offensive lineman from the waist down, and could run and throw and do everything he wanted to do. He was a franchise guy for sure.
Yeah, his rookie year they were 11-5. They were 2-14.
Yes,
and they got Andrew Luck, and magically we're 11-5. So that again was a team that was good like 2 years before too. That was a very different team than the Jags, who were like a total disaster.
No, I mean it's amazing that this guy could be this much of a catastrophe so far. I tend to root against Urban Meyer, so I'm enjoying this. And at the same time, I mean, at this point, how could you possibly do anything but parlay every week against whatever hideous, onerous point spread you may have to play into? The Jaguars and the Jets go against them every week, and you're cashing. It seems like I mean, ridiculous. I think the Jags were 4-9 against the point spread. They did have those 2 impossible wins, obviously as underdogs, and the Jets are now 3-10. Against the point spread. And I mean, every week in New Orleans, all of a sudden, it's a get well card.
Yeah.
Is it not?
It is. Defo, every time you mention Urban Meyer, it looks like you're sucking on lemons because that smirk just can't get off of your face.
I'm amazed that these things happen. And then all of a sudden, after years of just being totally immune from any kind of realistic scrutiny, because he was winning. Who was shielding him? The boosters? I mean, there should have been investigation upon investigation into what kind of maniac this guy really is. And we're seeing it now. And I love the fact that he's attacking his own team. If that's true, I don't know.
Is it Gates, right?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that has surfaced too many times for it not to at least have some element of truth to it, that this is one of the things that's going on. And you could see it with this kind of guy, just like a bizarre crackpot who somehow, after failing miserably as a pro coach, is going to cash in with. I mean, who's the real con here? Is it Urban or is it the owner?
How do you keep Urban at this point? At the end of the year, he's got to go, right?
And he throws in a twerking incident in the middle of this.
Well, that was
Most guys got fired.
I mean, could you punctuate this thing any better? Like a clown show in Jacksonville.
At that point, in my heart, I think he was trying to get out. And they wanted to punish him, and they said, "Just stay, and coach this team."
He didn't even go back with the team. Like, hey, see you later, guys. Yeah, nice game there. Buried again.
I'll have a rum and coke. Yeah, I'll have another one.
They're putting up zeros now. I mean, this. I don't know. See, just as soon as you think you really are onto something in any kind of gambling venture, you probably know this just from even being around guys that are sending it in. They'll win next week. I don't know who they're playing, but because you would be of the firm belief that you could bet against the Jets and the Jaguars every week the rest of the season and cash, even if the spreads got into the 20s.
Yep,
possible.
You would think so. You would think so.
Dolphins are only 7-point favorites over this decrepit Jet team. What am I missing here, John? Is it Christmas?
I don't know. It's close. It's close. Combine Hanukkah and Christmas, and I think that's what you're going to get next week.
7 points. I mean, if it goes to 7 and a hook, all right. So you have to sweat out the dagger there. But
I can't see how the Dolphins just don't come out, especially with the week off and the Jets playing
right
so
down the
poorly.
field.
Yeah, just go ahead and dismantle this team in the first half and kind of hold on in the second, because the Jets can't score points. They can't keep opposing teams from scoring points. And they're going on the road, and it just doesn't look like a recipe for, it looks like a Dolphin layup, which kind of scares me.
It's a crap.
That's the only one that
too good to be true. Yeah, crazy. All right, John Congemi with us here. Dateline Dolphins. We'll get into some. Are you looking at bowl games yet, John Congemi?
No, there's too many.
We have games like on Friday.
I know.
I don't know. A general. We're going to do some general bowl philosophies here, because it's interesting the way the whole dynamic has changed. It was always, from a handicapping standpoint, you were always thinking, well, okay, which team really gives a flying one about this?
Exactly.
And there were certain circumstances, like the Hawaii Bowl, where it was sort of easy to tell. You might need some verification, like a police report or two surfacing on TMZ about the coach and the quarterback being at some Hawaiian strip club somewhere, with lampshades on their head 3 a.m. before game day. But, it was, hard to know always which teams were, going to be lining up emotionally needing whatever victory it was and what it was going to mean. But now you don't know who's playing.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, is there a date to declare whether or not these players are going to be in the game? I mean,
I don't think
make
so,
a big
Defo.
difference.
I think it's up to the player, and he can, opt out just kind of anytime he wants to. Most guys do it early just to help out the team, because you want to get some bowl practice in and get everybody kind of slotted into if they're going to be a starter, if they're going to be a backup, if a guy hadn't played all year and he's going to be the next man up, he wants to get those reps. So you probably do it sooner rather than later, but there is no deadline to it.
You must have played in some ball games, no?
Yeah.
Your days
yeah.
at Pittsburgh? What
Cotton
balls were you in?
Fiesta, yeah.
All right. We'll get into that with John Congemi. Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill, mile marker 104. I was saying earlier in the program when we were promoting the fact that you were going to be on with us, as you are every Monday on these Peel Yourself Off the Mat Mondays, that the only thing could have been better than my weekend, which was a nice weekend all the way around with the boat parade. We had a little party and everything, and then did some degeneration out at a local casino and bet some ponies on Friday. It was great, but it could have only been eclipsed by going down to Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill and hanging out there.
They had the boat parade going down in the Keys, I believe it was last night, and just a terrific spot. I kind of
that must be something, huh?
It is. It must be something, especially on the bay side. Kind of hanging out with, chilling with your favorite beverage and kicking your feet up. And like you said, Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill is probably one of the best places you can do that in the Keys. And it doesn't matter what time of year, you're going to get great weather, you're going to get great service, you're going to get great views, and brother Dominic and his wife Amanda and Larry, they do such a great job of catering to your every need, and the accommodations are terrific. I know that you guys speak highly of that because you got to do that last time we were down, and hopefully we're going to be able to visit soon because it's getting to the point where the weather's just right in the morning where you can go out on the patio and have a beverage and take in all the sights and sounds of the Keys.
Tommy Fox working on that, our good buddy Tommy Fox?
Our good buddy Tommy is on that, yes. We have to speak with him probably sooner rather than later, so we get to go instead of just Tommy going, right?
He was a trooper last time, as were you, John Congemi, rolling down there the morning of.
Yeah, that was fun.
We were like soaking up a couple of days in the Keys prior to getting on the show there, and then we had a great time. So looking very much forward to that. And, great food and drink, great place to relax, great place to watch football. Mile marker 104 in Key Largo, Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill. Larry Calvano and the boys down there, your brother Dominic, the lovely Amanda, tremendous job at all times. I mean, it's top-notch service all the way around. Even if you're hanging by the pool, man, some places you go, you got to wait like an hour and a half for a drink after you ordered it. These guys are right on top of it, man, zipping in and out of there. So it's a great place to hang out. You don't get frustrated with that so-called, it's the Keys mentality.
Honestly.
Yeah, it's laid back. No, it's
bordering on the Bahamas, right?
The service is right on point. It's perfect.
All right, we're coming back with more here on Ion Channel. Don't forget about our friends at Destination Sport Miami, and you can log on to their website, see what they're all about, a very ambitious project, the kind of thing that would interest a guy like John, the largest indoor multifaceted sports training center and facility anywhere in North America, the entire continent, my friend. And they're going to have like 2 full football fields. They got Randy Moss running their programs there. That's going to be great. And that includes like youth programs, even here in town. So many people are going to be able to take advantage of this. Basketball, G-Money, Glenn Rice is in charge of the program there. And I think they have like, is it 2 or 4? There'll be full-size NBA basketball courts.
I don't know. I know they have
on. So, yeah, I mean, it's not like the one, when we used to be.
Why?
Yeah, at the Jewish Center there, where it's a half court that looks, supposedly like a full court, right? And then the baskets are only 9.5 feet, so even the Jewish kids can dunk like Lubie and me. But anyway, well, I don't know, Lubie, that might still be.
I never was dunking, though.
Yeah, it was however high the rim was. That was just barely as high as I could go. It wouldn't matter if it was 8 feet. I'd still struggle to dunk a ping pong ball. But anyway, it's a great place. I mean, really going to be multifaceted. All of the top teams from around the world going to be playing and training in there, and just ideal for elite athletes or any level for that matter. Very ambitious project. Destination Sport Miami at destinationsportmiami.com. All right, more with John. As we're Dateline Dolphins here, very interesting what's happening. Everything is just absolutely beautiful for the Miami Dolphins organization right now. And we'll come back and talk about this bowl season with John Congemi, bowl philosophies, in a moment. Now that. The time. It's 8:29. Destination Sport Miami is here to revolutionize the sports landscape in South Florida. The largest indoor multifaceted sports complex in North America is on the way, with distinguished leaders of its various sports programs and unparalleled access to the finest indoor training fields and facilities. Destination Sport Miami will set South Florida apart as the destination of choice for elite athletic training and development and for its dedication to youth programs and sports on all levels. A phenomenal concept and a powerful undertaking, Destination Sport Miami will also be an important commodity in the sports business community as well. Destination Sport Miami, its time has come.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in the Plantation location, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. Their hours have changed a little bit. Monday through Thursday from 3:30 to 10, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11:30 to 10. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Play the ponies in style at Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style, and you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette, in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
Hey, folks, Tony Segreto here. What if I told you you could go to a great restaurant, feel completely safe because their COVID protocol is unmatched, have an amazing meal, have a great time? When the bill comes, you won't get sticker shock. You're going to say, that's too good to be true. No, it's not, because I'm talking about Texas Roadhouse. Great family atmosphere, great atmosphere for a couple, great atmosphere if you just want to go by yourself and watch a game and have the coldest beer in town. And while you're doing that, have the best bread in town. All at Texas Roadhouse. Everything you get there is fresh every day and made sure it's served at your table, hot and ready to go. And the best part is you don't get sticker shock because the prices are amazing. Texas Roadhouse.
Recently, we realized it's not just hurricane season that can hurt us. Any time of year, things can happen to your home or business. And the insurance company can be your friend, but they also can be your enemy. Horizon Public Adjusters, Justina Testa, are here for you to help this process go so much easier. Before you call your insurance company, call Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa at 954-809-8752. Would you go into court without an attorney? So why would you go up against an insurance company without Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa? 7 to 10 times more money recovered with a public adjuster than if you went on your own. If there's no recovery, there's no fee. Give them a call at 954-809-8752. Why go up against insurance companies alone when you can have Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa on your side?
Hey, it's Mike Mayo, the Gambling Gourmet here for my friends over at Shenanigans Sports Pub. It's a great place to go to take in a game, a good meal, and a couple of drinks. My friend Patrick, he's been doing it a long time, and he's got 2 locations. West Side is right across from TY Park in Hollywood. And then the East Side location is at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Shenanigans is the place for wings, burgers, barbecue, fresh fish, anything you want, drink specials, late night dining, outdoor dining. It is the place to go, family friendly. Go to Shenanigans and tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you.
Dateline Dolphins with John Congemi, and that's brought to you by Jimmy Johnson and Jill in the Keys, and we're looking very much forward to doing some broadcasts there. I think we're going to head down there like once a month during the football season. I have to ask you this, and feel free to, not necessarily spill the beans from a personal standpoint to your good friend Dan Marino. Does he experience, or did he ever experience nightmares about handing the ball off to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar that one year when Jimmy insisted on running the ball on every play? And it was always, the announcer, I think it was Ron St. John, was a stadium announcer back then, and you could hear him say, hand off to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Hand off to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, gain of 1, 3rd and 8. Did he ever talk about that?
No, he's never really talked about that, Defo. But you're right. I think they did have that on loop at whatever the stadium was called at that time.
It was 1 yard every time. And it was a generous 1 yard they were giving him statistically.
Enjoy your trip to work with lots of laughs thanks to Defo and Lubie. Now on the Defo Show.
Welcome back to the show. Peeling yourself off the Mad Monday here on the Defo Show. Jeff Deforrest, Mike Lubie, Lubitz with you on Ion Channel. IonChannel.com is where you find us. People are waking up to the whole idea. But we don't get the same look, John Congemi. We have John Congemi with us at Dateline Dolphins. With John, we do this every Monday. It's always a lot of fun. Brought to you by Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill. But in the very beginning, and you probably caught this too, it's like, hey, where are you doing that Defo show? We really enjoyed that when it was on the radio here in town. And you would say Ion Channel, and they would give you that look like, yeah, good luck, buddy. But now, I mean, it's a much more confident look that we are receiving every time that people have found it. And, it's starting to gain a little traction here.
It's a lot of fun, getting to see you guys and talk with you guys every Monday and getting the word out to people, which has been great. And a lot of friends and family said they found us and they're sticking with us, which is great.
All right, the bowl season. Now, you mentioned how many years were you the starter there at Pitt?
I was
as
a
a
starter
quarterback
there for 4 years. And,
wow.
Oh, wow.
It was a lot of fun. We got to enjoy bowl season. And, one of the reasons why I did go to Pitt was because, Dan Marino was going to be a senior and they had a lot of potential guys that were going to go play in the National Football League. And when you look back, we did have a lot of players not only play in the National Football League, but, Jimbo Covert just went into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this past summer. Dan Marino was his roommate. They're both in the College Football Hall of Fame and in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And you can continue on that list with, Chris Dolman and Bill Freilich and it goes down Larry Fitzgerald and Craig Ironhead Hayward and guys that were on my team that I played with, Tony Saragusa, who was a character. There was a lot of guys that end up playing in the National Football League and playing at the next level. And it was great. And going to the bowl games with the guys that I went with, the stories, I can remember a quick one, really quick. I never experienced this in my life. We're on a Delta flight or a American flight, and it's a charter flight, and it's just our team. And Alex Kramer, God rest his soul, he was going down with all the cash, and he'd give $900 to each player right on their tray.
Sweet.
Boom, 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 $900. Bang, 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 $900. So I'm waiting for my turn, thinking, well, I'm a freshman, I'm probably going to get like 200, 250. No, but I got $900, and they were saying, listen, whatever you do, don't go waste your money the first night in Fort Worth, because we were going to go. I think for the Cotton Bowl, we went December 16th. The game wasn't until January 1st.
Oh,
That's
geez.
what I love about college football.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was insane. And we didn't have curfew till the night before the game.
Oh,
So
no.
we were out in Fort
Nine
Worth
sticks.
for a week and a half.
What year
Yeah.
was this now, John? 900 had to last you
82.
the whole week. Huh?
80, whole week. I thought I could live the rest of my life on this cash, right?
Could have bought a car, right?
So what does my good friend Bill Freilich do? He goes out the first night and spends like $889 on a pair of boots, right? So the next for 2 weeks, he's going to everybody, hey, I need $100. Hey, I need $100. We're like, no, we told you not to spend it. So then when he finally got his hand away from my neck, I gave him a couple $100, just because he was much bigger than me.
He became much more
But
convincing.
yeah,
yes.
that happened everywhere. It happened in the Fiesta Bowl as well. You just got cash, and you felt like you were going to be able to live forever.
You literally tapped out with a rear naked choke based on the fact that Freilich had his hands around your neck there. Early advent of the UFC. All right, so I mean, most kids that had some kind of college football fantasy. When I was growing up, college football it wasn't that big in New York. We didn't really have any teams. It wasn't like we related to Syracuse football as kids living in Brooklyn or anything like that. And I was aware of college football, but not as much, as other sports. But even with that, everybody had like a little college football fantasy where, they would be highlighted in a bowl game. So, does it still, in your opinion, John Congemi, I don't know what it meant to you at the time. I mean, you were used to, didn't St. Thomas qualify for one of the college bowl games the year you were there?
The Bahamas Bowl. I think I played the Bahamas Bowl.
Try to get them in
81.
an Idaho Bowl or something. Yeah, but, we'll sneak this high school team in here. They're better than Tulane. But anyway, so what did it mean to you? This is one of those things. Obviously, you had a lot of fun, and it was entertaining, but did you have one of those fantasies of quarterbacking in a bowl game, and did that come to fruition there in the Fiesta Bowl? or something along those
I
lines.
think so. When I was a kid, I always watched the Rose Bowl because I was from Ohio originally. So I always wanted to go to a Big Ten school to play in the Rose Bowl. And that was really the only way you could get there at that time. Pac-12 or Pac-10 at that time and Big Ten at that time. So I always grew up watching the bowl games. But in my mind, there were only 4 of them. You know, there was the other bowls. And then there was the 4 bowls that really mattered, you know, and the Orange Bowl being in Miami, living here and growing up in South Florida, that was obviously one of the premier bowls. And it was always a standalone kind of situation. And you always thought of yourself, man, I'd love to get on a team, on a college team and play in the Rose Bowl or the Cotton Bowl or the Fiesta, the Sugar Bowl. You know, that was the Fiesta Bowl wasn't even on the radar when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And then there was some that kind of snuck into the rotation with the Peach Bowl becoming a little bit bigger than, because Chick-fil-A is sponsoring it and it's got a lot of money behind it. But growing up, it was just those 4 bowls that you wanted to play in.
Yeah, the Peach was kind of on the outside there.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
like a satellite tour, on the golf circuit. I had a chance to go to a couple of Fiesta Bowls when the Hurricanes were involved. And I was doing some coverage with the Hurricane football team in the heyday.
Yeah.
One appearance was kind of lackluster. The other one was a big ball game, as I recall. And it's weird because you're a golfer, and I had a chance to play some golf. I was hacking at that point. I mean, just horrible. So it was really it wouldn't have mattered what course I was on, but those desert courses are kind of bizarre, right? All of a sudden, you're humming along there, and maybe you're hovering around par, and then you find yourself impaled to a cactus as you're trying to hit a shot out of what is the strangest? This desert rough is insane, isn't it?
I got to partake in that going out to the Fiesta Bowl. We played probably 2 or 3 times, going out to rent clubs and just going out to play, and it was a lot of fun. But you're right; it's a lot different than playing in South Florida. Yeah, there's signs down here, don't hunt for your golf ball. Alligators, are near.
Which no one adheres to. No one, bothers to listen. They end up getting chewed up. Yeah.
There, it's the snakes. You're worried about rattlesnakes and everything, going in there. So, yeah, the no hunt zone was good for me. I just kind of let it ride and drop another ball in the fairway and hit it.
I remember staying in Scottsdale. They had some nice resorts, which made you think, if I ever have respiratory problems, I might consider moving here. But other than that, man, it's like blazing hot there. Not so much in the wintertime when the Fiesta Bowl was being contested. I mean, it's like you talk about like impossible heat to contend with. That would be that desert heat where, you can literally fry an egg on top of your head just by going outside. But how did you find it, the atmosphere there? Because it's kind of a different vibe altogether than you have here in South Florida, even though it's a warm weather destination.
Well, it was a laid-back atmosphere, that's for sure. And it seems like if you didn't get around to doing it on a Monday, don't worry, it's still going to be there on Tuesday.
Yeah,
I think that carried over from South Florida to Scottsdale, Arizona. I mean, we stayed right at that. The Point was the big hotel at the time. It was just being built on Camelback Mountain right there. So we had a great time. But you're right, it was more of a laid-back, kickback atmosphere. And one quick story from the bowl game. I remember the night before the game, we're going to play Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl. It's the 1984 Fiesta Bowl, so it's played on January 2nd. DJ Kavanaugh, Matt Kavanaugh's younger brother, was a backup quarterback on our team, but he signaled in all the plays to me. We've been out every night, Defo, from December 16th to January 1st. Now, Sal Sinceri, who played played linebacker at Pitt, he's the graduate assistant. He's an assistant coach on the team. He's got bed check. So he's going around all the beds, all the rooms. And he comes into our room and he sees my wide receiver and myself sitting on the couch. We're watching TV and there's no DJ. And he says, hey, where's DJ? And I said, I don't know, Sal. It looks like he was putting on a pair of jeans. I think he's going out. He goes, what do you mean? This is the only night we have curfew. You can't go out. DJ comes out of the room. He can barely button his jeans that he just bought at the mall because he gained about 12 pounds during this 2.5 weeks. So Sal said to him, where are you going? And he said, well, I'm going out. He says, well, you can't. We have curfew. He said, Sal, do I have any chance of playing in the game tomorrow? Sal turned to him and said, no, you have 0 chance of playing. He goes, good, I'm going out. He goes, have a good time. He walked right by him with the money he had left and went out.
This is good inside information. If you can, and this is what we need to do. We need to find somebody. They have all of these college football insiders. Who's really inside
That's
of
right.
these programs and can tell us which team is in there, all determined that they're going to go with some Newt Rockney approach and go kick some ass, or the teams that are there to party. I don't know. I would imagine there are many ball games where both teams are in the same circumstance.
It's whoever survives the week that has enough players.
Fraternity
that
rush,
can
yeah.
play. Oh, I mean, Defo, we had to have votes within the team meetings because somebody got a little bit overserved. They tackled the Christmas tree in the middle of the lobby, and now we got to vote to say, is he going to stay on the trip or do you have to send him back?
Oh, geez, you can't send a guy back. That's
No,
such a disgrace.
Everybody has their hand raised. Oh, he stays. Make him run.
That makes like the sports page in the local newspaper there, the Pittsburgh Gazette or whatever, and you're shamed at that point. It's worse than being caught going to the ATM machine at the racetrack when your buddy knew you came with like $1,000 more money than you ever brought to the track in your life, and you're already empty by the fourth race, and you have to make that walk of shame. All right, Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill. Once again, you know what? I'm still jonesing. It seems like we talk about this one item all the time.
We do, Defo.
It's so spectacular, that Italian fisherman pizza, but indicative of all the great creativity that your brother Dominic exhibits in the kitchen, including, Lubie normally would have been grossed out to see a fried egg on a pizza, but he scarfed that thing down, that breakfast pizza. It was absolutely fantastic.
It was a tough ask, Lubie, but you got through that. That was pretty good. They do such creative stuff there, and it's really anything you want. They can make it right there on premises, and it's such a fun place to be. I haven't been on a Sunday, obviously, because I'm working, but the sports bar, the newly renovated sports bar, has everything you want just to kind of cozy up to all those TVs and get a seat at the bar or get a seat at the table and take in your favorite game, because they're all on there at Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill. And then you walk outside, and if you're done with the 1 o'clock games, you want to have a cocktail at the Tiki Bar before the 4 o'clock games, you have that opportunity as well. So it's just such a special place to go. And I hope that, Defo, and I'm saying this with all sincerity,
Tommy Fox,
we do want to get down there. So we need to speak to Tom, because
Tom's busy,
got the key to the place. So we want to get on that within the next couple of days, and maybe we can go next Monday or the Monday after Christmas, maybe.
Well, he's so insane though. Once the market opens up, it's like buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. And so, it's hard to get a phone call in. And then, he's like me. He'll tell you he's going to call you right back. And then 3 days later, it's not really a favorable characteristic. I'm going to work on that as part of my resolutions, John. I assure you.
Perfect. Put it on that sheet of paper that you have. That reminder sheet of paper.
These things are, broadcasting Picassos. I don't know. I'm going to hold it up here for the people with the video.
That's beautiful
capabilities here.
That looks like Urban Meyer's call sheet on the sidelines.
Looks like Andy Reid's Chinese menu that he has, which, by the way, they're cooking right now. The Kansas City Chiefs
They
all
are.
of a sudden looking good. How horrible was that for the Raiders, right? The guy takes the handoff, goes around the left side,
God, the beginning of the game.
fumbles for a touchdown 12 seconds into the game, and Mahomes hasn't had the ball yet. And you come back out and go like 3 and out. Couldn't be any more of a disastrous start. All right, more with John Congemi coming up. Deal Volkswagen also is cranking right now. Anna is on fire there at Deal Volkswagen, and the hot category is previously owned vehicles, which they have in plentiful supply and at unbelievable prices, because they get these lease turnbacks, and they're willing to turn them back to the public at very low prices compared to what the market will bear right now, because people are paying top dollar for these cars. Dealerships are saying, hey, I'll give you whatever you paid for the car. Just bring it in, because they want to have this kind of inventory. Deal Volkswagen way ahead of the pace there. So check them out internationally at dealvolkswagen.com. Be worth your trip from anywhere for the tremendous savings, and what a great ride you're going to get from any vehicle that you purchase at Deal Volkswagen. All right, so we'll come back. We'll wrap things up on this week's edition of Dateline Dolphins with John Congemi, Mike Lubitz. I'm Jeff Deforrest. John Congemi, the handsome one there at the bottom of your screen, and of course streaming audio around the world here on the ION channel. I mean, how many platforms do these guys have? It's magnificent. We'll be back with more in a moment. Now that it's 8:49 Eastern.
Since day one of Old School, we've had Catholic Health Services be part of our family. They are recognized as the quintessential rehab facility in the Southeast for strokes, but it goes well beyond strokes. because Catholic Health Services is in the community of South Florida to help the community stay healthy. And if they're not healthy, get them healthy and get them back on their feet quicker than they could have ever expected. They do it every single day. It's step and repeat 24/7. Catholic Health Services.
Destination Sport Miami is here to revolutionize the sports landscape in South Florida. The largest indoor multifaceted sports complex in North America is on the way, with distinguished leaders of its various sports programs and unparalleled access to the finest indoor training fields and facilities. Destination Sport Miami will set South Florida apart as the destination of choice for elite athletic training and development, and for its dedication to youth programs and sports on all levels. A phenomenal concept and a powerful undertaking, Destination Sport Miami will also be an important commodity in the sports business community as well. Destination Sport Miami, its time has come. The championship meet is right around the corner at Gulfstream Park. The only place for live racing, Gulfstream's action has never been hotter. Whether it's on the track, in the casino, or part of the dining and entertainment offered at the Village of Gulfstream Park. Currently running Thursday through Sunday, Gulfstream's racing package is the best in the country, with all the top horses and people in the game pointing towards another tremendous winter season. Check out the remodeled first floor casino, open 7 days and nights a week, along with the many special events and concerts happening at Gulfstream Park. You can place your wagers from anywhere at firstbet.com. Check the calendar of events at gulfstreampark.com.
From the newly renovated sports bar to the beautiful bayside views captured at the Tiki Bar, Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill has it all. Located at mile marker 104, the Big Chill also offers waterfront dining while experiencing breathtaking sunset views of the Florida Keys. It's simply the hottest spot in the Keys to cool off. That's Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill at mile marker 104 in Key Largo. For more information, call today at 305-453-9066.
Buy or lease a house and take it to the house at Deal Volkswagen. Anna and her team make your next VW purchase or lease so easy, with new inventory rolling in daily and the biggest selection of certified pre-owned vehicles in the business. You can make your deal online at dealvolkswagen.com or visit the beautiful showroom in the classic location, 3601 Bird Road, right in the heart of the Gables. Or give Anna and the team at Deal a call at 305-448-DEEL. Jettas, Passats, Tiguans, Atlas models, and the hottest vehicle in the industry, the new Taos, all at unbeatable prices and all ready to roll off the showroom floor at the #1 Volkswagen dealership around, Deal Volkswagen. The great John Grisham with us here on 940 Wins, 1230 The Zone, around the world. What this show is really all about in terms of enlightenment, and that was
Nothing.
we're not here to enlighten people. We're here to bring you down to our level.
Well, you've done that with most of your
I've
guests.
been doing
Let's
it
do
for
that.
40 years.
Yeah. I mean, poor Rinaldi's talking about a kid betting horses at the age of
We
12.
loved it, though, because everybody wants to be at the most base and bottomless level that they can possibly get to. That's what life is all about. Can you reach rock bottom and dig it?
I dig it.
It's fine, right? All this other pie in the sky stuff. Oh, yeah, we're going to change this. We're going to change that. That's not happening through a sports talk radio
I
show.
saw Lubie last night. He was on the corner of Commercial Boulevard and Federal. He was burning his draft card.
Oh, he was burning flags. He was kneeling. He was doing all kinds of crazy. He doesn't know what to do, whether to stand up or sit down.
The modern day odd couple, Defo and Lubie, are on now. It is, of course, the Defo Show.
That was just a couple of years ago. Lubie was protesting virtually everything. I mean, you would have thought it was Abby Hoffman meets Bobby Seale. It was crazy. All right, welcome back to the show. It's Dateline Dolphins with John Congemi here on the Defo Show. Jeff Deforrest, Mike Lubitz, on channel. Great to be with you. Just Google the Defo Show. Tell your friends about the thing. And, it's all happening here, both audio and video streaming. And we're happy to have John with us, brought to you by Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill every Monday. A couple of things, John, before we sign off for this morning, which it's been a lot of fun all the way. And you're getting a lot of fine compliments. I don't know if you have access to our chat line here, but people are deeming you a real asset to the show. In fact,
that's great.
One comment was that you're the only asset we have on the show.
No, I think it stopped at ass. I don't know if it went to
Well, there's a lot of asses on the show.
No, yeah, we got plenty of fannies here. But all right, the same speech. Yeah, we got this from everybody. The college football, the coaches and just it's still insane. It's staggering the amounts of money that were spent and the extremes that various colleges and universities went to get their man, so to speak. And then we heard the same thing, like Lincoln Riley, we're going to get it together. We're going to, block off all of South Florida. We're going to get all the kids. UCLA is going to get buried, and we're going to be back on top in a short period of time. Then Brian Kelly goes to LSU, starts speaking with a Cajun accent, mysteriously.
That's great.
And all of a sudden, he's like wearing some kind of headdress. As if,
I love your family. I'm your
yeah,
family.
well, what a crazy man. But
Yeah.
same thing. We're going to do it right back on track. I don't know that Billy Napier was, as much of an advocate of that as the other coaches were. I didn't really get to see his press conference. That Mike McIntyre at FIU. Well, what kind of maniac is this guy, John?
I didn't see any of that.
He could have me walking into a
I
fire.
heard about it. Yes,
yeah,
I heard about that.
And then Mario Cristobal at the University of Miami, same speech, right? Okay, this is what we're going to do, and we have everybody has to buy in. And then you're thinking, how many coaches that get hired really make that big of a difference? It seems like it's only a handful that is stuck in one situation and actually sustain the success of the program over a long period of time. And by the way, then Manny Diaz ends up with Franklin at Penn State.
Penn State, right. And as the defensive coordinator. It's crazy all the amounts of money that these universities are willing to spend just for the opportunity to fire these guys in 3 or 4 years.
Yes.
And you're hoping if you're a fan of UM or you're a fan at UF or you're a fan at LSU, you're hoping and USC, that all these moves work out. Brent Venables goes from Clemson. Now he's the head coach at Oklahoma. But the oddest one to me was Brian Kelly, only because now I know it's all about the money, and I know that's where you go with every decision, it seems like, in college football. But the easiest way to get into the college football playoff is being the head coach at Notre Dame. There's just no other way to
free
put
path.
it.
Yes,
it's a free pass. Because you're going to be on the cusp of being into those 4 teams that are left, or you're going to be 5 or 6 with the argument of being at Notre Dame. That's going to get you an easy layup to be number 4, number 3 some years when you don't deserve it, because your schedule includes either Army or Navy or Boston College. You got to play 4 or 5 teams in the ACC, which 3 of them on whatever year you catch those teams are going to be layups. And you probably got to play 1 or 2 marquee games a year. And you're going to get Stanford every year. There's no other way to put it. Notre Dame was the job for Brian Kelly. And the caveat, he's the winningest coach in Notre Dame history.
Yeah.
How do you just kind of, leave in darkness and take the job at LSU when you're that? That used to mean something to coaches and players, I guess. I guess it doesn't anymore.
No, it was kind of a strange one. You would think Notre Dame would be an ideal situation, as you said. I mean, a free pass to the postseason virtually every year if they could get by there. They played some tough teams on their schedule because of their annual matchups that they're involved in. But you would think that you'd have a much better chance there. Although, it's all about the kids, as they say.
Yeah.
You got tired of seeing those linemen from Cincinnati Moeller not live up to their expectations, and maybe decided it was time to fly the coop. All right, always a lot of fun, John Congemi. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll make those arrangements. I'm going to get on the horn with Tommy Fox this week.
Yes,
and we'll hopefully all be heading, the entire crew, including the Ion Channel people, down to Key Largo, which we don't want it to be news to them. So we'll see if we can get that arranged and make it official. And if people want to come down and join us down there, they're welcome to do it, because it should be a heck of a lot of fun. John, always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks so much for being with us here on the show.
Hey, thanks for being so nice to me this week, guys, and I look forward to next week as well.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Great stories there. John Congemi coming up, setting the table for the bowl season, because who can identify the fool? That's what it's all about. Sounds like a song Albert Castillo ought to record, right? Who can identify the fool? It was me. No, he doesn't sing like he's Tony Bennett. I left my heart in San Francisco.
Exactly.
Cincinnati left their hearts in San Francisco yesterday. Wow. Cannot close out a ball game. The Cincinnati Bungles. They managed to blunder this one away. The Finns were off this week, and wow, the line went up too. I think wasn't Georgia 6 and a hook over Michigan when the first line came out? 6 and a hook.
So. Yeah.
Now 7 and a hook.
Okay.
7 and a hook. What am I missing there? I really like Michigan in that game. I do.
I actually agree with you, which scares me.
I mean, the way that they caved against Alabama when Alabama looked like garbage all year long by their normal standards.
By their standards, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they still had only lost one game, but, they were on the precipice of losing to Auburn there, and by all rights could have. Florida had them by the jugular, a lousy Florida team who, is going to be ended up, the Gasp for Air Bowl? Was that it? Oh, Gasparilla.
Gasparilla in Tampa.
It's big Tampa, yeah, the Gasparilla Festival.
Already sold out. First UCF.
Yeah, okay, well, there you go. Nice little matchup.
Little in-state thing.
We'll find out. UCF should have. They should be with all the incentive in that game with the so-called chip on the shoulder to show that they're better than the Gators and that they deserved the national championship 2 years ago. Something they're still hanging on to. A completely false premise. They stole the election.
Okay.
All right. We had a lot of fun being with you today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Fun.
It's always great being here on Ion Channel. You can catch us again tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the a.m. We'll feature the Agent of the Stars, Brett Tessler, Harvey Fialkoff, and maybe some special guests on the program. Wednesday, we go old school with Tony Segreno. That's always a lot of fun. Thursday, the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Managed to almost pull that thing off under difficult circumstances this week. I think we can iron that out. So Thursday, we'll have the full-blown edition there with the Polyman on screen. Wow. And then Gulfstream Park and a Deal Volkswagen Degenerate Friday coming up on Friday. So lots to come here before we hit the holidays full speed there. And what are we? We were 2 weeks away from Christmas on Saturday.
Yes.
Wow. It's starting to haunt me, the money I've been losing at the track because I was thinking I could have bought $1,000 worth of Christmas presents instead and made everybody happy. But instead I had to satisfy my own degenerate inclinations and go out there and, say I was having a good time, even though money was going up in smoke. Smoke signals. Help, help, help. All right. Anybody with a number for Gamblers Anonymous, send it in and put it up on the chat board there, and we'd be happy to pass that along also. And we'll see you tomorrow at 7 in the a.m. as we leave you know that.
The time.
It's 9:01 on the East Coast, people.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done to my show.